It's the wrong thing to say, but it's been an amazing amount of fun. The subject matter doesn't really allow you to say that. I'm saying it anyway.
It's very interesting to see the production and those amazing actors with this material, which transferred from one culture to another gives more flavors and even nuances that I didn't think about.
It was a journey, and that's sort of fitting given the character, since it is an odyssey that he goes on.
The play affords so much depth and so much acting fun, just delving in and finding the quiet moments, the soft changes, just the intricacies of every moment that are possible to exist with this very terse language.
I learned a lot about Israel and Israelis doing this play, and that things aren't so simple.
The feeling of distance give the ideas in the plays more room, maybe, to detach from the political yes and no, black and white in Israel.
And people on both sides of this particular issue of Gaza come from places of deep caring.
To have Gilad in the room has been great, mostly because he was a silent God. You know he's there. So it's like we're working on scripture where you know God exists.
Having Gilad, the playwright, there was such a treat. And he was, again, so generous, so open.
To be able to sit in the audience and sit next to Gilad and see how he interacts with the piece and how that has shifted, it's just, it adds that extra wall onto the stage. It's just this entirely different experience.
Suddenly people wanted me to sign autograph on the, yeah, and I asked one of them, why do you want it? He said, to show my grandchild that I was here.
I think one of the wonderful things about Israeli stage is how interactive from all perspectives it is.
The participation of the audience in the event actually starts to feel more and more legitimate in terms of its artistic viability.
The talkbacks are so valuable, I think, to the work and our mission of what we're trying to do, because we're trying to bring theater to all sorts of audiences.
Israeli stage, and it looks like, certainly with this play, what it's doing is taking that microcosm of Israel and letting us see it so that we see its universality. We see all of us in that.
We give a voice. It provides a voice, and we're asking the audience to also share their voice, and that voice is just as important.
In Israel, there's a very certain intention for writing a play like this, and now that it's being done in Germany and France and abroad, is there a change of intention that you see now to audiences?
No, I think that's more layers to what I intended in the beginning, which was about the indifference. And here I see the reflection of this idea also.
To be able to have that conversation that is difficult for people, that frustrates people, this play is such an amazing mechanism to create that conversation.
I feel very much like I'm speaking in another language, even though it's English, because the thought process is still there. It's a flavor of another place, another time, and another sensibility.
And I felt like I understood the story that Guy wanted to tell. He communicated it beautifully. And I think that means what a terrific future for this group, because that's the nature of art and performing arts and that. So I just think it's got a really good future.
Did you get something out of it? How was it for you?
I'll digest it in the coming year and
You'll let us know.
let you know what it was. It's not easy, but I'm glad that I did.
Your limo is waiting.
Who is this guy?